It has been so long since I recorded a video that there is literally dust on my camera, which is crazy because I used to use this thing like multiple times a week. But since it has been so long since I recorded a video, I felt like it was time that we had a sit-down chat and I tell you kind of what's been going on in my life, because there has been a lot happening and videos have been suffering because of it. And really, honestly, it doesn't feel like life is going to be slowing down anytime soon, and so videos are probably going to continue to suffer, and you guys might as well know why. So I have my notes here of what I want to update you guys on, and it's just going to be a very chill, laid-back video, so let's get into it. First of all, I mentioned in that video back that I was in a new place, and if you've seen any of my videos before, you would know that this obviously is not the place that I was typically recording my videos at. But I never really addressed why, so let's start there. And if you've been following me for a while, you might have seen my vlogs where you know I was married and I recently bought a house with my husband. I renovated my office space, and that is where all of my videos were being recorded. Well, we have since then gotten a divorce, and since the house and everything was all in his name, I just gave it to him and let him have it, which is fine. I do miss the house and I miss the neighborhood. All of the neighbors were super nice and there's a lot of dogs in the neighborhood that we got to walk around and see. But I'm also super happy to be here. I'm now in the country and honestly, I like it a lot better than the city. I do miss some of the comforts and the attractions of city life. Like I miss being 4 minutes from anything and like being able to go to the grocery store because you missed one thing and it's not a whole day trip. But other than that, there are like pros and cons to each. And now here in the country, there is so much land and it's so beautiful. And you can literally, I was driving down the road the other day and there was just like 20 sheep in this guy's backyard. It's crazy. Like the amount of just like farm life that you can see out here in the country is so cool. People will have chickens in their front yard like they're dogs, just pecking at the ground. It's wild to me as a city girl because I've been a city girl my whole life, so getting to experience something new after such a big life change has really been good for me. I've needed this. I needed some sort of change and something to get my mind off of everything that went down. Now, the biggest thing that I lost in the divorce, not even the house or the neighborhood, was my cats. Right now they're still with him, and at some point I would like them to be with me, but that is maybe gonna happen, maybe not gonna happen. So I miss them a lot. I'd really like if they were with me, but in the situation that I'm in right now, it's just not possible. So they are better off with him for now, and hopefully we can come to an agreement and I will be able to get them at some point. Not super hopeful, but if I have to trade my cats for peace, serenity, and my happiness, it's not a trade-off that I'm happy with, but it's one that I can live with so that I can keep my sanity. If it means I have to lose my cats in the process, unfortunately, that is just life. That's the way things go sometimes. And all of that started happening a little bit before I took a break, which is one of the primary reasons that I was taking a break, other than the fact that I was also super burned out with content. And once I became burned out with content, which I talked a lot about before I left, and then being burned out in my life as well because a lot of things were going on, it just made sense to take that mental health break and not focus on anything else but getting a divorce finalized, moving, all of the other things that are going on. I also ended up picking up a job. I was working for myself full-time for 5 years, and I decided that if I was going to be divorcing and going through this big life change, I needed some sort of actual reliable, stable income. And social media for me at that point had been relatively stable, but I still just felt like I needed an actual job and like a change. So I went and I got a job, and that also took up a lot of time, which meant content was not really going to be going out as much because I was now working outside of the home and also trying to do content creation. It just wasn't going to work. But other than that, a lot more has been going on actually. I've met someone new. I'm staying with them. That's where we are right now, is I'm with them. He is incredible and we are actually engaged. Show off the ring for those of you that actually care. It's beautiful. It's custom. I picked it out myself. Absolutely love it. I am so happy. I am in a much better environment than where I started, and honestly, no complaints. We do, however, have no plans for a wedding yet because on top of that, I am pregnant. Pretty heavily pregnant, in fact. I'm actually 31 weeks pregnant right now. You obviously can't tell because my belly is down here, but I am very, very heavily pregnant. And then once I got into the second trimester of pregnancy, I was still actually working outside of the home. I hadn't gone back to content creation yet, but my fiance saw how much I was struggling and he told me to just quit, which was always the plan. Like I always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. The whole reason that I started doing this job 6, 7 years ago was because I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So this was my plan all along. I just needed that break. And once I got that break and it made no sense to continue working any longer, then I was able to quit my job and go back to working, doing this full time, which is so lucky. I'm so glad that I did it that way because I'm honestly feeling out of breath just sitting here talking to you guys. I can't imagine working right now, especially because once the baby's here, we don't have childcare. I'm gonna be the childcare. I don't know how that would have worked. So I'm super glad that 18-year-old me decided she was gonna be a stay-at-home mom and I was gonna figure out how to work from home, and then actually ended up doing it. It has been a blessing for me. So I started posting videos a little bit before I quit my job because I wanted to have that stable income coming in again from my business and really rev it back up before I quit full time, because the most important thing to me wasn't how tired I was feeling or how bad I was feeling. It was making sure that I had a stable income for me, my fiance, and most importantly, my child. But eventually it just became too much and it wasn't worth it. So I left and I started doing this again. And honestly, I wasn't really ever planning on telling you guys this, or at least all of this, but it just got to a point where it's like, I can't do content creation as much as I thought that I could because there's a lot going on. I'm still going through a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about, but it is more on the back burner than it was before. It's not as in my face, so I feel like I can hopefully start posting content again and just share with you guys what's going on behind the scenes, because there is just a lot happening. But really the big reason is my content has never had anything really to do with my life. So the fact that I'm divorced doesn't matter. The fact that I'm getting remarried doesn't matter. Like, it's not going to change anything. You're never going to see my ex again, and you really didn't see him other than in vlogs. And my fiance now, you're never going to probably see him in videos. So like, that stuff doesn't matter. With me being pregnant, however, that's one of the things causing really infrequent posting, so that part kind of matters a little bit, along with the living situation that we're in. Like I said, I have no complaints, but we are living with other people, and so this is pretty much our space to do whatever we want in. And so when he is home, I don't really feel like recording because this is the space that we have together. So it feels weird to like kick him out just so I can record a video. Like, I will if I have to. That's what I was doing before. It's just not ideal. So that makes it hard to record. And I've had a lot of doctor's appointments, especially this month because I'm in the 3rd trimester and I have a few other things going on because of the pregnancy. Nothing major. My iron is low, so I've been going for iron infusions, and that's just been a lot of labs and blood work and all of this stuff, all routine stuff that most pregnant people go through. It's just all happening at once for me, and that means I'm out of the house a lot. I'm tired a lot. Like, things are just going on, obviously. And then with me having a newborn pretty soon, that's not going to make it any easier, because then I'm going to be parenting and taking care of this newborn by myself. So all of the things considered, posting is going to be a lot more difficult, and I don't really know how much time I'm going to have once the newborn is here. So it's better to just tell you guys, hey, this is what's happening in my life, and doing with what I have with what I can. But past that, my life never really has anything to do with my content, and I don't plan on that changing. Like, I don't plan on sharing much more about my child. I might share when he's born, just to say like, hey, videos are going to be not very frequent because I just gave birth. Like, I might put that in like a community post, but past that, am I going to make a video on it? Probably not. I don't plan on sharing his name, his age, his birthday, what's going on with him, anything like that. So in that aspect, like, it didn't matter that I was pregnant. I will say that we're having a boy. I don't mind sharing that if you're curious, but otherwise his life is going to be kept private. And then the other reason that I decided to share everything was in one of the videos that I recorded in this board right here, I accidentally left some ultrasound pictures up there, and I didn't realize until I was editing. And I said, if anybody says anything about it and asks about it, I will maybe make a video on it, because I was still on the fence whether I was going to share it or not, because this is exciting news and I kind of wanted to share it, but it wasn't top of mind for me. It wasn't top priority. Someone did say something about it. So I was like, okay, maybe this will be a good time to share. And they mentioned something about, saw you were pregnant, hope you and your ex, which they didn't call my ex obviously, but I hope you and your ex are like happy or whatever. And I was like, that is not true. He is not involved in this child's life at all because it's not his. So I felt like I needed to clear that up, that it has nothing to do with him. And then I got to share some exciting news with you guys. So it was like a win-win in my book. Someone kind of made the decision for me, which is totally fine because, like I said, I was on the fence. And in general, if you're wondering how I've been doing great. Like I said, I have a few things going on. I was anemic before I was pregnant, which means I have low iron, and so most people get anemic when they are pregnant. It was pretty routine, but the iron pills that I was taking wasn't raising my iron enough, so they had me go get iron infusions. Not a big deal. I've been fine otherwise. I really haven't felt pregnant at all, honestly. Just really tired and unmotivated to work. But morning sickness wise, I haven't had pretty much any symptoms at all, cravings, literally anything, a lot of pain, nothing. And that's pretty much it on my side of things. As far as content goes, I'm going to be doing my best to post. I have this video going out, and then I have another one that I've already recorded, so I do have at least 2 videos being posted, and we're going to just try to keep pushing out the content because I want to be posting. It is just a lot, as you can imagine. Things are both settling down and also speeding up. So I'm not going to promise anything. I am just going to do my best. And that is everything that I needed to update you guys on. That is a glimpse into my life over the past year and a half. I appreciate you if you've been sticking with me for this long, and I really hope that you will continue to stick with me through the rest of this journey because it is going to be bumpy for a little bit until I get my groove. And make sure to like this video if you like, subscribe to my channel down below if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.